Andrew says, you mentioned Scott Steiner and Vader, that once they're in wrestling mode, they become scary monsters.
Yeah.
Are there any other wrestlers in the promotions you've worked with that same frame of mind when the lights hit? Who else goes a little nuts, Tony?
John Moxley goes a little nuts. Does some crazy things. Chris Jericho has been known to go a little nuts. Oh, Roosh. Oh man, when Roosh comes around our table, we're thinking, got to get out of the way. Um, those
It's
guys have been known to get a little nuts.
it's still real to Roosh.
Yes, it is.
Brandon is with us here, and he says, Tony, if you had to choose your favorite stable in wrestling, who would it be? And stop being a little bitch and bring back Tony Reed's rap. Happy
Well,
Thanksgiving.
same to you, Brandon. Well, if I had to choose my favorite stable in wrestling, wow, Four Horsemen, I guess. Wouldn't that be the one that brings me back to the beginnings of my career?
You like them better than the Elite?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Wow, look at you telling the truth on the
Yeah.
program for once.
Yeah.
David Brown says, what the hell have you done? I don't know if you saw this, but our man Big Mark, he's making Major League scoreboards, Daddy. How about that?
Isn't that something?
So fun.
What that's countdown to what? What football? Go for that's the University of Minnesota. Yeah.
How about that shit?
Yeah. How about that?
Chance Richardson says, what is Tony's favorite wrestling moment that he called? And what's one moment he would have liked to call? You've been a part of so many major moments, of course. Starrcade 83, you were there for that one. You were there when Dusty won the title back at the Omni in '86. You were there when Hulk Hogan turned his back on WCW and joined the NWO. There's so many
Yeah.
major moments. Goldberg beating Hogan on Nitro for the title at the Georgia Dome. Is there one that stands out that you think, man, that's the moment I'm proudest of that I got to call that one?
Well, I think it's Hogan turning. It has to be, if not number one, it has to be up there because I came out with Hulk Hogan. You can go straight to hell, which was a complete ad lib on my part, and didn't even think about saying that until the moment happened. So that's the one I think that I feel best about. I would have loved. This is really a something I never got a chance to call, but I've talked so many times about how working in Madison Square Garden was such a joy for me. Um, that maybe when Hulk Hogan beats the Iron Sheik and becomes the world champion, that moment would have been great to be able to call that because
Yeah, that would have been cool.
that'd have been the start. That was the start of WrestleMania. I mean, of Hulkamania. So that would have been great.
John B is with us, and he says, F Mary Kill,
Yeah, brother.
Batman, Dale Murphy, and a hand turkey dick. Tony, you got to F one, you got to marry one, you got to kill one. Well, Batman would be hard to kill.
Yeah, well, I would kill the hand turkey dick. I
Yep,
would
that's easy.
I would marry Dale Murphy and fuck
Yep.
Batman. Yep.
Man, every now and again, there's a sleeper question in here. I just don't see it coming, and that got all over me. Because, I mean, I could just see you and Dale Murphy sitting around talking about old baseball. It
Yeah.
works perfect.
Yeah.
But then you're like, I don't normally go for this kind of thing, but if I'm going to fuck a dude, it was fucking Batman.
Of course.
So we got
Yeah.
that going for me. Here's a great one from Noso Grande. Would you ever consider recording an episode of this podcast while doing colonoscopy prep live from the Schiavone bathroom as you watch both of the Brock Undertaker Hell in a Cell matches? I mean, I think we just came up with our bonus episodes, Tony.
I think we did.
What if we just hook you up with like a whole box of laxatives
Mm-hmm.
and you set up a rig on the toilet and as I'm doing the reads, you can just blow ass in the background
Yeah.
and we'll just watch the matches.
The colonoscopy prep is the worst part of a colonoscopy.
All the shitting.
No, all this that shit you got to drink. It's horrible.
It's like a barium or something.
Yeah, it's likely it's really a thick liquid, and they used to give it to you when they say, "What flavor would you like?" We've got cherry, we've got lemon, and I'm thinking it doesn't matter what you put in it, it sucks. So they quit putting it in it, and it's just horrible.
David McClay says, real Christmas tree or fake Christmas tree? Tony, what are you, a real tree or a fake tree guy?
We had a fake tree for a long time, but we prefer a real tree. If we have a tree this year, it'll be the first tree we've had in 2 years. We didn't have a tree last year.
Have you talked to Lois Schiavone about coming and doing holiday shit with us? Because you were invited to Thanksgiving, as you know.
Yeah, I know. I did talk to her about it. She went, "Oh," nodded her head, and that was it.
So that's a no. Got it.
Probably.
Bobby says, do you think kicking the Giant out of the NWO in late 96 was too early for them to start kicking people out? Then the Giant rejoins the NWO later. It's hard to see that they really had a full plan there. I agree. It was way too early to kick him out.
Yeah, I agree with that. But, they're trying things, I guess, and Hogan wants to try things, and, everything
Well,
was
here's what Hogan wants. How can Hogan wrestle the Giant if he's on the NWO?
See, there you go.
Brian says, do you think WCW could have built the Great Muta into a strong world champion in the early 90s? Or is him not committing to WCW the problem? Or let me add this wrinkle. Do you think it was Gary Hart in his ear, Tony?
I don't know, but I wasn't there really during that span, so I can't answer that. Gary Hart in his ear, really? You know something? Is there a story that I'm not aware of?
I think in that era, I wonder if some of Gary Hart's ideas were outdated, or at times Gary was trying to manage Great Muta almost like he could be a Bruiser Brody type attraction and dictate finishes or whatever. I mean, I know once upon a time people felt pretty strongly, I would imagine people like Gary Hart, about wins and losses and that they matter and they got to be framed a specific way and yada, yada, yada. I know that he was trying to look out for Great Muta, but I almost wonder, hey man, you can't go to promo. You got a manager here. We're going to have to beat you eventually. I mean, if you're going to be on the heel side of things, that's what this looks like.
Right.
And I get that maybe they don't want to abuse it and it becomes sort of a horseman thing. Like it's like, hey, do they ever win? But I do think that with the benefit of hindsight, I would suggest maybe it was Gary Hart's influence that maybe imposed a glass ceiling of sorts for the Muta.
Could be. That's as good as anything else, I guess.
Hutch wants to know, can you just say it's Sting on TV just once for old time's sake?
No.
What about here, Tony?
Oh, like right now?
You could do it now.
He said TV. He said TV.
Yeah, but, I'm just trying to make people happy, Tony. I don't want to just say no and then we move on. We're trying
It's Sting!